Hi, I'm Stefan, the BMW DIY guy, and do you want to have yellow daytime running lights on your BMW? I'll show you how. All right, y'all, so let's talk about this project a little bit and the reasons why you might want to do this on your car. Now, this is going to be on my G87, the brand new M2 today, and I cannot wait to do this. Now, I was kind of wondering, because I ran the yellow daytime running lights on my previous M2, which was black, and that black and yellow was really good. I loved it. And I kind of wondered if the Toronto red and the yellow would go well together. I've actually seen a couple of examples, so I'm going to do it again. So I reached out and I talked to IND for a great kit that we can install, and I want to show you how you can install it as well into your car. Now, a couple of things first. We're going to put the car up in the air, and we always want to be safe when we do that, so you're going to want to make sure to loosen your two front wheel lugs before you get your car off the ground. Okay? Now, I'm always going to say this. You can do this with jacks and jack stands. You can do it with race ramps, maybe. But I'm going to be using my QuickJack 6000s today. I'm really excited about them. They work really, really well, and they make this a safe thing for me. Okay, do not use just a jack or an unstable surface. I've seen a car come down off a jack before, and if it comes down, that can damage your car. If you're underneath it, that could damage you. All right, so please be safe when you do this. You can do it with jacks and jack stands primarily, quick jacks or so on. Make sure you do it in a safe fashion. Okay, so I'm gonna loosen the lugs on both my front wheels, then we're gonna get the car up in the air, I'm gonna have the wheels off, I'm gonna show you what to do to easily install these yellow LEDs. All right, so now that you've got your wheel off, you're gonna have to either peel the fender liner out or just take it out. And I'm a big fan of taking it out. It's only about 13, 14 of these 10mm screws all the way around. They're super easy, and it makes it a lot easier because you're not fighting with the cover at the same time. So if you use an impact wrench, just make sure it's not turned up too high, and then you just walk them around. You'll see all of these 10mm, classic 10mm body screws that you'll see all the way around, and then just take the liner and feed it out. This is all really super simple. Now, the other thing that I've done in the interim is I've also raised the hood, because we're going to very briefly loosen the headlight to be able to push it forward enough to get the module out. I'll show you what that looks like when we get there, but it's really straightforward. So go ahead and take the liner out, then I'm going to show you the module, which is right back here. All right, so now that the liner's out, you can see the back of the module right here. So you have 3 T20s all the way around, 1, 2, and 3, all the way up at the top, which is a little bit hard to show, but it's right there at the top. It's easy to see with your eyes. So you're going to want to take all 3 of those out. Now, this heatsink itself is going to hit this strut component right here. So as we come around and we look up top, right here, you have a T30. And actually, it's marked. It's been marked on both sides. Don't take it out, just loosen it. Couple of turns, loosen that T30 right there. And then back here underneath, you'll see another T30 right here. Okay, I'll get my hand out of the way. That silver one right there. Again, just a couple of turns to loosen it, and then the headlight body itself will shift forward just enough. It's like probably a 1/4 of an inch at most, and then you can guide this heatsink out. So go ahead and take the screws on the heatsink out, loosen those 2 T30s, so those 3 T20s, loosen those 2 T30s and shift the headlight forward a little bit, and then you can slide this down. And I'll show you what this cable looks like once we have the heatsink loose. Now that you've got those 2 T30s loose and the T20s taken out of the heatsink, you can take the heatsink and just kind of walk it back and gently down. Now you're going to want to take and push on the headlight just a little bit. I mean, it literally moved just this much. And it should be enough that you can work the heatsink out. If you're just really careful and work at it just like that. Okay, so now there's a cable right here, and I'll show you what it looks like when I get the heatsink off. But basically, it's a cable that comes up into the blade of the LEDs itself. So you want to push down. So just take the little white plug that you'll see right here and just pull gently down with it, and it'll slide off. Okay, so you can see those are the connectors where that plug slid onto. Now, here's the other thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to stress this. I'm going to go change my gloves. My gloves have been on my tires and brake dust and all kinds of problems. You do not want to touch the LEDs here or here. Now, obviously, this is my OEM board, but I'm going to make sure that I've got clean gloves. Do not touch your LEDs, or you can burn them out. You can cause faults, all kinds of different problems, okay? So change your gloves, and then we're going to swap this board out. So here's the existing board. and you're going to want to take out these two T20s. Now, as we do this, let's just talk about this really quick. Now, it's really simple to take these out. I'm going to be very careful with the OEM boards because who knows, maybe I'll switch back someday or I'll sell them or who knows what, right? But I don't want to ruin them. So I'm going to be very careful as I do this. Now, this is kind of nice. This is easier than the F87 in some ways, even though we have to take the wheels off, right? Okay, so when you take these two T20s out, go ahead and just set them carefully aside. And then we're going to pry this board up. And like I said, I've got clean gloves on. So what I want to do is just kind of get underneath the contacts right here and then just gently pop up. And this will come right off with no problem at all. Okay, it's just held on by a little bit of a thermal adhesive on the back. So I'm going to take this and just set it carefully aside. Now, I've opened the package for the new one. So as I pull this out, I do not want to touch the LEDs. Now, this also comes with thermal adhesive on the back. So you're going to want to pull the guard, the tape off the back of the board, right? So go ahead and take that, pull off the little cover to make sure that the thermal adhesive is going to work well. And then you can take the new one and put it right back into place, okay? So as you do this, the nice thing about this is that there really is only one orientation for this. So if you hold up the previous board, you can go, well, yeah, I got the right one, because it would be on the other side if you grabbed the wrong board. So you can check the existing board for orientation. Okay, and then just gently just line it up with the holes. Don't touch the LEDs. Just press down gently to get the thermal adhesive to adhere down. Go ahead and put the T20s back in. They don't have to be super tight, just snug them down. Once that's done, you can take that and you can plug it back into the assembly. Now that plug goes in that same orientation, it just goes up. And it's actually geared or has a tooth in it, so it should only be one way to go on, but just make sure. Slide it in the same way and fit this back up into place and go ahead and put on the T20s, okay? And you're pretty much done with one side at that point. I'll walk you through the rest. Now also, I'm only gonna show one side because the other side is exactly identical. Okay, so go ahead and get caught up here, get the new board in, let's put it in. All right guys, so go ahead and get your three T20s back in, 1, 2, 3 on the back of the heatsink, and that's good to go. You can press back on your headlight a little bit to make sure that it's in and flush when you snug up that top T30 and then the bottom T30 as well. And then you can take your fender liner and just fit it right back into place. Now the nice thing is it'll kind of hold itself in place because it's got some fingers on it on this outer edge. So as you fit this back up in here, you can actually get it to fit kind of up in place while you put the screws in, which is really kind of nice. So just get that set up back in really nice and well. Go ahead and get all of those 10 millimeters back in, and then you're done on this side. If you haven't done the other side yet, make sure to go over and do that. But if you've done both, good job, you're all done. Go ahead and clean up and put your tools away. Now we get to see what it looks like. All right, y'all. Yeah, I am really excited. They work. They look absolutely fantastic. I am super excited. This red and yellow really works well. I like it a lot. So go ahead and clean up, put your tools away. You're all done. All right, all done. Go ahead and make sure to clean up, put your tools away, and don't forget to torque your wheels or your wheel lugs. All of that information is in the video description. So thank you so much to Motorsport Plus and IND for this. I am so excited to have this on my car. I think it's really going to add a little bit of extra flair, a little bit of difference, and I love the way it looks. So make sure to check this out and consider doing this on your car. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please make sure to click like and subscribe. It's a small thing, but it honestly makes a huge difference to my channel, and I would really appreciate it. Also gives me a great way of letting you know when I've got new content coming, and I have a ton on the way. I can't wait to show you, and I'll see you on my next video.